you're the co-founder. So can you tell us about your company, how it came about, and what what we need to know about kind of who you are and what do you all do?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, leader development, I think, is the generic term. You got that exactly right. And I jokingly tell people that I help people play well in the sandbox together. That if I were going to boil it down, that's sort of what we do at GiANT Southeast. GiANT Southeast spun off as its own thing a few years ago. We're powered by a company called GiANT Worldwide, which is what, when we met, that's the company that I was working with as a consultant. And GiANT Worldwide and GiANT Southeast are all about raising the standard of healthy culture and making sure that everybody has an ability to communicate effectively through a process of becoming self aware for the purpose of elevating trust in our relationships. So that's really where we've come from and what we're focused on. GiANT Worldwide has a technology platform and a lot of resources that help power the engine of GiANT Southeast. But I spend my time hanging out with people in the coaching space, consultative, facilitated conversation space, helping make our conversations better. And we certainly need that in this day and age, I think.
Oh yeah, we do. I think we all need training, and I think everybody feels so much pressure right now. There's so much negativity happening in the world, and so you're working not with leaders and teams, or who's kind of your direct point of contact? Is it everybody? How does it work out?
So if you have a pulse and you have any kind of relationship, we can be friends. I typically am working with leaders of teams, leaders of organizations. I do work at the individual level, most often with middle, senior, upper level leaders. We do work also with entry level people, but it's really about equipping people with a language and a process to be able to think through the challenges that we face every day.
Okay, it sounds like you've got some options that would be helpful maybe for executives or C-suite folks who have maybe a good manager who needs to be leveled up. Would
Yes.
that be a good fit for GiANT Southeast?
Absolutely. Because a lot of times when you have a manager who may be new to leadership or has been doing it a while, they've got a great CV or resume. They're great practitioners at whatever they're doing, but the leadership part may be a challenge. If you think about what we spend our time doing, we're driving for performance and driving for results. And when you overlay leadership on top of your regular job, then there's this tension that can become a little bit overwhelming where how do I actually lead people, because I can't force people to do things. So how do I influence, how do I conduct myself in a way that makes me somebody you want to follow versus only follow because I write your paycheck.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I think I don't know. I've been an executive now for 12 years, and I just don't feel like I'm getting it right. That feels. I think I need to be in your program and use your services very much so. I
That's
It's a
partner an
struggle.
hour.
Yes. Yeah. It's you get into this mode of driving and focusing on the bottom line. And as the economy's tightened up post COVID and everything, I feel like it's made everything feel transactional to a degree.
Right.
And that runs against culture, right?
It really does. Transaction will always be a part of business because we have to transact in order to keep the lights on and take care of our clients or do whatever we do. But when it's at the expense of relationship, that's when things become problematic. And frankly, none of us, unless you study psychology, most of us did not go to college to learn how to navigate the liminal space of relationships.
Mm. Yeah, I think some leaders do real well when there's a real clear, flag to capture,
Yes.
but they forget about all the hands and knees and elbows they're stepping on the way,
Yeah.
and it can become detrimental to one's objectives. And so, yeah, I think that's a much needed area of growth and development. We're in a group of entrepreneurs with EO, as I mentioned, but it just seems to be the thing that everyone craves the most is to grow and get better and feel better about their own performance. So it doesn't just benefit teams, but also I think maybe the individual too. Have you found that?
That leader development is important for individuals.
Yeah, that makes them feel better about their jobs.
Absolutely. I think fundamentally humans want to be seen and
Mm.
understood and valued. And it's really hard to do that for somebody if you're their leader, if you don't really understand how to navigate relationally. So relational intelligence is sort of the magic thread that is required to do that well, and to have people that go the distance, go to the mat if you're a Godfather movie fan, who
Hmm.
are willing to fight through the difficulties that require a lot of persistence and resilience, those things that we talk about. But that's, I think, the undercurrent that's not often addressed well.
Yeah, that's good.